All right, welcome everybody to Ascend Academy tonight. We're so excited to hear from Miss Hannah Hall. And Hannah, before my internet gets more unstable, I'm going to turn the time over to you.
Yay! All right. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to share with you guys tonight about Last Chance First Glance open houses because we're almost upon the time with a new catalog. So throw in the chat for me if you've ever done an open house before, because I want to know who we're talking to, and if you have, and throw questions into the chat and we'll get to them at the end too as I'm going along. But I love doing open houses. They're a lot of work, but they pay off. One of my favorite little statistics, I guess, to share about an open house is that I once did $500 in the first hour of one open house and ended the night with around 2,500, and it was only a 4-hour open house. So it was like so worth my time. But I love open houses. So many of you have done them, but some of you haven't, even maybe some that are watching the recording haven't done them. We're coming upon a new catalog, and this is the perfect time. And we titled this Last Chance First Glance because in February, you're going to be seeing 10% off of your almost entire catalog, minus LTOs and licensed product. And so it's a perfect time to get people into your house or wherever you hold the open house and to get them in and see the old catalog, but also to get them in to see the new catalog to start promoting your spring summer season 2 as well. So in my past life before Scentsy, I was a teacher. And so I love note taking and making it easy for you guys to remember things. So I actually created a document for you tonight to just watch, because you don't need to see my face while I talk, even though it's gorgeous. And I wish I could say it was sun-kissed from Florida, but Florida had horrible weather. So I just threw all of my tips and stuff up here on this for you, and I will definitely post this as well, along with the recording. But this is what we're going to work through tonight. And so let's just hop into it. So open house, last chance, first glance tips. Number one, find a way to offer maybe even 1 to 2, maybe even 3, whatever, it's up to you, different times that you're holding your open house. Here's why. Life is busy. Your customers are busy. We don't all run on the same schedule. Some people work nights, some people work days. Like if you're a nurse, you may have 3 days off, then you work 7, and then you may have 2 days off, all different schedules. It is best to offer a couple different times that you hold your open house. This is because you will reach a wider variety of people. If you just say, okay, I'm having it on Saturday between such and such hours, you may get a good amount of people. But what if you said, I'm going to host it on a morning time and an evening time? Will you get more people that way? Most likely. So I suggest number one is deciding a time when you can offer it more than once. And maybe it's even like a week in between. Who knows? You could catch 2 different paychecks even with that. So find 2 different times to offer your open house. That way more people will attend. How are you going to advertise your open house? This is maybe the most important tip that we will talk about, because nobody knows that you're having it unless you advertise it. And so it's getting the word out there as much as you can and as many times as you can and as creative as you can. So it is sending invitations by mail. Nobody hates, well, we hate getting bills in the mail, right? But if it's a fun, colorful, and it's an invitation and it's sent to us, it means more to us coming in the mail than it is through a Facebook invite or a text. It is something with ingrained in our brain that pulling it out of the mailbox and that you took time to put a stamp on it and mail it to me, it means more to us. So my number one way is to invite through mail. Also is to email them out, send a text message, create a Facebook event, create posts, and invite your customers all of that way. That way, I don't know what the statistic is. Let's make it up. That way, if your customer is invited 5 different ways, they'll at least see one and then they'll be able to come. If you just send a Facebook invite, how many of us get Facebook event invites all the time and miss them? How many of us miss Facebook notifications and miss them all the time? Somebody will be like, did you see when I invited you? Nope, I didn't. Number one, we're super busy, but also we can't rely on Facebook to make our customers aware of the notifications. It's not a good way. They're not good at it. So I feel like they used to be, but they're not anymore. So put it in your hands and use lots of forms of communication to get your invites out. Number 3, this is where, when I just told you guys earlier that I had over $500 in my first hour of my open house, this is where it happened. Give an incentive to be one of the first through the door. I can tell you guys, it almost made me nervous because I had a line at my front door when the open house was getting ready to start. I was like, this is insane. What is going on? And it was because I gave an incentive for the first 10 people to show up at my house for the incentive for the open house. They got the incentive card. And only on the card I had created was a cute little scratch off, and they scratched it off and it was an additional something percentage. Some of it was like only 5%. There was one person that had 25% off their order. So they wanted to be the first 10 through the door because they got an additional savings. And so give an incentive to be the first through the door. And that way you're guaranteed sales and you're guaranteed that your time and your efforts are going to pay off too. So tip number 4, ask customers to bring a friend, not just one, or 2 or 7, however many they want to, and reward them for bringing a friend. I told them at my last open house that I had a special table for rewarding those that brought a friend. And you know how we say sometimes that one man's junk is another man's treasure? You never know what treasures you have in your Scentsy closet that your customers will love. And I filled this table with retired warmers, with half-used bricks that were like retired scents. I filled it with other retired clearance sale items that I've gotten. I filled it with sample oils that I had used that were retired. And they went bananas over it. They were so excited. They were like, oh my goodness, we have to come again tomorrow and bring another friend so we can shop this table. So that also expands your circle. I was just talking to Heather earlier on a connection call earlier that we want our friends to be introducing us to their friends to expand our circle. And so that is the best way, is to ask your friends to do that. Hey, bring a friend over. It doesn't matter if I know her. If she doesn't know me, my house is one of the most welcoming houses that you'll be in. I'm just saying that just because it's my house. But bring your friend and show them the love of Scentsy, right? And then I guarantee you, once they bring their friend, we're going to be friends. So we're expanding our circle. Number 5, create interactive posts and text to spur your curiosity for your customers to come and check the new catalog. Don't spill the tea right away. Just give little drips here and there. Maybe show a blurred picture and say, can't wait to show you what's behind this at my open house. Or post a picture and say, Shelly, Kelly, Melly, and Jelly, you are gonna love this new warmer. Whose name is Jelly? I don't know, but you know. Anyway, it rhymed. It was cute. So create those posts that are gonna have interaction that are going to get your customers excited. You could post a sneak peek of maybe one product that you might have on set on stock, or on sale, or just really pique their interest. Do you know that other companies do that when they're having big sales? Like, what is it with the Amazon catalog or the Target catalog coming out before Black Friday, that your kids like rush and they like circle every darn thing in that catalog, right? And they're like, Mom, I want this and this and this. Imagine if you created that excitement for your customers to come to your open house. Wouldn't that be amazing? And so those are just some 5 easy tips. Here's a reminder for you, and we're going to get into what does the open house portion look like. Okay, it's going to look different for everybody. We don't all have the same layout of our house. We don't even, some of us are not going to host our last chance first glance at our house. It might be at a restaurant that you go to. You may have product in stock to sell. You may not. Not everybody has to have inventory to sell at this event or at this open house. So whatever that looks like to you, do what works for you. But a reminder is to create an open house layout that flows through wherever you are, through your area, so that your customers can easily view product, that they can easily check out, and that you can have one-on-one time with them to personalize their shopping experience. You guys, this is huge. Don't ever feel like you have to be in a rush to get your customers and your friends in the door and out the door. Create relationships, create time to connect with them. Make your area that you're hosting this warm and welcoming. Make them want to stay and chat, or smell more product, whatever it is, because I guarantee you, the longer they stay, the more they'll buy. So create a layout that is easy for them to walk and shop. So maybe that's a couple of products in one room, and then a couple of products in another room, a separate area for smelling. Maybe you have a sample station. One open house, I did a fun little sample station where I had made wax samples, and they got to create their own recipe out of some wax samples. So maybe they mixed clothesline and squeeze the day together. I wonder how that would be. But it would, maybe you could make a clean lemon smell, and they created a name for their recipe, whatever. So maybe there's something fun like that. Maybe there's a craft project that you have for them that they create, or they color fragrance flowers in one area. Like they could pre-purchase a fragrance flower and color it in one area. Who knows? Who knows what it looks like? But make sure that is an experience for your customers. Don't just throw everything together and have them walk into your office and shop. Make it an experience for them. Also, check out. Make sure that you spend the time to just sit with them and check out with them one-on-one. This is the best time for connections and for conversations to happen. This is the best time for you to ask questions. Did you see anything that you liked that you weren't able to pick up today? Did you see anything in the new catalog that you might want that you didn't pick out? Maybe you want to host a party and earn that. Oh my goodness, do you love what I'm doing? Because I would love to have you on my team and do this with me too as well. These are the best times for you to have those conversations with people about hosting, about joining, and about purchasing more. So don't ever feel like you're in a rush. Many times I do. Many times I feel like they need to get in and they need to get out. And sometimes people do. Sometimes they have other places to be. But we're coming out of a hard place where we were told to stay away from each other. We were told to close our doors, right? Now we're at a time where we're ready to open them back up. We're ready to have more of these open houses and these type of parties. And we want people to feel so welcomed because it's hard. It's hard in our society right now a lot of us have anxiety about going over to other people's houses. Because it's just weird because we've been told the past 2 years to not. So make it an experience for them, one that they just enjoy and maybe that they don't want to leave. So follow up. This is super, super important. This is like the cream, the icing on the cake. That's right. It's the icing on the cake is the follow up. We can do a great open house. We can have 25 people through our door. We can have 80 people through our door. And that's great for that day. But really what we're looking for in these last chance first glance open houses is that it is bettering your business not only for that day but for the next year, and creating customers to better your business as you grow. So it is super important to make sure that you follow up with each person who attended, whatever your follow-up system looks like, whatever the time amount it is. Maybe it's a week after, and you just follow up and you say, Shelly, I'm so glad that you were able to come to my open house. How are you loving that lube bar in your new warmer? Are you loving it? Like, just ask questions and see if they're like the product they like. If they come back and say, yeah, I do love it, then that spurs on conversation for either, purchasing more, for a join conversation, for a host conversation. But make sure you're following up with each person who attended. What's even more important is that you also follow up with people who weren't able to attend. Maybe it was a time conflict and they still couldn't find a time that they could get over and they want to come shop. Maybe that's a personal one-on-one shopping time with them. And also maybe they, didn't actually hear about it. Maybe, I don't know, whatever the excuse may be. But make sure you follow up with those people. Share maybe what your inventory list is. Ask them if they would like a new catalog mailed to them. Ask them if they weren't able to attend. So maybe they would want to book a party because they still want a great deal on product. So always super, super important to follow up with people. Here's some questions that we may be asking about last chance first glance. What should I have for snacks? And I tell you guys, these kind of questions, they also go along for home parties too as well. So what should I have for snacks? I love to keep things simple. I'm simple Sally that it's simple, but it still is welcoming. So I love to have something salty, something sweet, something warm, and something cold. So if I was having my ideal open house, I would maybe have brownies, pretzels, hot tea / coffee. I don't drink coffee, but coffee and tea and lemonade. Just something super simple and easy, but still makes them feel welcome and that they can sit down and chat, have a drink, and have a sweet or salty snack. If you have people that are coming over that are wine drinkers, I mean, gosh, girls, get those bottles out and get them flowing. Maybe it'll spend some more. You never know. But keep it super simple, because you also want to be showing your customers that they could also be hosting something similar like this at their house. So snacks. Keep it simple. So simple snacks, SS. How do you price your product? This is something super personal. It is totally up to you how you price product if you have it within your inventory. Many times when I'm doing a last chance first glance, I will have a specific section for maybe inventory that I have just like leftover, small things that I maybe just want to get rid of my stock. And so, I'm putting my personal prices on those, whatever that looks like. If we're in the catalog season, if you do this in February, then it's everything within the catalog that they order is going to be 10% off. That is a great deal in itself. I mean, a 6-pack at 10% off too as well. So they're not only getting a bar free in that pack, but they're also getting an additional 10% off. So that is a great deal in itself. So don't feel like you have to do anything on top of what Scentsy is already doing, because Scentsy is offering that at a great price too. And then with new product that's coming out in the catalog, that's totally up to you as well, because our product is priced to sell, you guys. So don't feel that you have to cheapen anything in our product to get it, anything in our catalog to get it in their hands, because it is priced to sell. Do you offer deals? That kind of goes right along with that personal. It's totally up to you kind of type of thing. I told you that my number 3 tip was to give an incentive in the door. That was the only special that I offered them, and that was only for the first 10 people each day. So that, again, don't feel like you have to, right? It's totally up to you. How do you book parties from your open house? It's no different than in any other open house, home party, basket party, whatever. The first step is to always ask. And you're asking every single person that comes in the door. Now, maybe you want to get creative, and I've done where like I've had balloons in my house, and I've said, if you want to host a party with me, you get to pop a balloon. Popping a balloon is a big deal. It makes a loud noise, it brings attention. And so people, they're always like, what happened? And then it brings awareness to, oh, well, Shelly just booked a party. And so she gets to pop a balloon and see what's inside. And I usually put a little like booking incentive inside the balloon. And so, maybe you want to do something creative like that. It is simply just asking and making sure that you're asking at checkout too as well. And when you are checking them out, maybe when you're filling their bag with all their goodies, maybe you have a booking incentive that you put in their bag that says, host a party, here's my booking special or whatever, and you're putting that in their bag. So if they don't book with you that day, then they go home, they unpackage their order and everything, and they see this. And maybe, a couple days down the road, they're really loving that Luna bar. And they're like, you know what? I think I am going to host a party because I love this. I love what I got, and I would love more. What supplies do you need? Can be super personal, but here's some basics. You definitely need new catalogs. You need your transition supplies. So you're going to need your testers from your current catalog. You're going to need the transition supplies for the new catalog. Those are all going to become available February 1st. You're going to need a way for them to write down old scents and new scents that they like to smell. You're going to need a discontinued list so they know what is leaving, because this is also a great opportunity to get them into Scentsy Club and to get them signed up. Because if they're buying a whole bunch of bars that are leaving, and you're like, listen, Linda, you need to stock up on Christmas Cottage because it is leaving and you don't know if it's coming back. So create a Scentsy Club now. And Linda will listen, because she's listening, Linda, and she will create a Scentsy Club. So you need the discontinue list. You need snacks and drinks, like I told you, but nothing too more expensive, right? If you're selling product for your inventory, you need to make sure that you have all that organized. You might want to have it on a table, totally up to you how like in-depth and decorative and decorish you go. You need to have a way that you're checking them out. You need to make sure that you've made it clear if you are taking cash, credit, Venmo, however they are paying, and make sure you have all of that ready to go. Some people like to pay cash still, and then you need to make sure you have some exact change. Totally up to you how you are advertising that too as well. And then a way to take their order. So whether you're taking it through order forms or you're doing an online system, you're putting them into the workstation, whatever it looks like to you. But you need to have a form of way that then you can see their order and follow up with them too. I'm sure there's other supplies that you need to as well. Obviously creating the invites and paper, using Canva is super fun too. It's even fun to have, you can see on my little thing that I created, just that Scentsy open house sign. This chalkboard is from Hobby Lobby that you can get and just, have to sit outside your house. And it's fun to have it out there just in case anybody's driving by and they see, oh, there's a Scentsy open house today, and they could stop by too. So we used to have these cute little yard signs in the Scentsy Success Store, but we don't have them anymore. So, okay, I just like filled your brain with, tips, reminders, follow-ups, and questions. But it's super easy, super fun to have last chance, first glance open house. It's the perfect time to have them and to up your PRV and to create PRV going into March when the new catalog comes out. That way you can be active on March 1st too. So let's hop to the chat if you guys have any questions, if we saw anything come through, because then you guys can go and start creating your invites and pick your dates and stuff too. So
Are you looking through the chat, or do you want me to tell you?
What did you say?
It was rude. It's rude. I said, are you looking at the chat, or do you want me to tell you?
Oh, I can look. Yep. All right. Hi, Jennifer. Miss you. Okay. Yes, you can get open house signs on Vistaprint and in the Pro Shop too. Super fun. They stick like right into the ground too for you. I have one of those too. So, and then I'll scroll up. Ooh, Liz has done fun sangrias. Liz, you should post your recipe for us. Jamie, so I answered Jamie's question. Yep, about just use the product that you have on hand. Maybe you're ready for a new warmer. So clean your warmers up and throw them on the reward table. You could also have a table for spend so much. You get to pick from this table. I've done that too as well. And that increases, like I've said, oh, you're only $5 away from getting to pick something from that table. And they'll be like, no way, let me go grab another bar too. So I'm interested in knowing, okay, Katie said disregard my question. I'm assuming that's what it was. All right. Yes, ugly bars or bars like you just don't think that you like. And people love, you never know what people are going to love too. So yeah. Do you see any questions that I'm missing, Shella? I think I got.
Did you answer Stacy's about how far in advance?
Oh, I'm just scrolled up to that one. Okay, how far in advance do you send invites? I send invites 2 weeks in advance out, and then I start following up like every few days with some other way. So my mail invites will go out 2 weeks before, and then I will create an event, a Facebook event about like half, like within the next week. And then I'll start posting in that event. And then I will make an email a week before, and then I will send text messages out the next week about, like maybe 3 or 4 days beforehand. That way I'm spreading those invites out, that they're not getting bombarded with like one day with 20 different emails, invites, text in the mail too. So that way it's still popping up and reminding them, because some people, they check it and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go, but then they forget to put it on their calendar. And the next time they see it pop up, they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put that on my calendar. I'm gonna put it on my calendar. And then they don't. So I think it's spreading it out and keeping the notification hot in their news feed and in their brain too as well. So So the bring the table, bring the friend, yes. So anything on the like spend this amount, get to pick something from this, or bring a friend, you get to pick from this table is free. Even if their friend doesn't buy something, their friend is in my door. Their friend is I'm getting to meet them. I'm expanding my circle because I love to friend request anybody that I know that became an acquaintance to me or a new contact. And just like at a home party, I'm going to friend request every single person that's at the home party because I can never have too many friends. And so you never know who's going to be watching when you do things. And so, yeah, it's always free to bring a friend and to get to pick something. Mary asks, when do you usually schedule the party? Mid-February to the beginning of March. I usually schedule my parties at the end of March, at the last 2 weeks of March. I will schedule them within a week of each other. And this is just because I want to create more of a urgency to get there and be the first to look through the new catalog. Too, I also want to make sure that I'm giving myself time for the new transition stuff to get to me from the mail. So when you order them February 1st, then I give myself about a week. So end of February is when is when I tend to do mine, because March 1st starts the new catalog. Did I say end of March? I meant end of February. End of February, last 2 weeks of February is when I would host. So, ooh, Liz just posted her sangria ingredient in the chat for you guys. Why didn't you make that this weekend for us, Liz? Oh, it's dry. Never mind. Moving along. Any other questions? I think we're good. You guys, it's super, super fun. Do not be scared. And even if you are scared, do scary things. Get uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you grow. And once you have one of these, you'll be tired. They're kind of exhausting because you get to smile so much and you get to set it up in your house and you get to, clean your house and or wherever you're going, if you're going to host it at, a restaurant or at somebody else's house. But they're so worth it. Having that connection with your customers and having them, in your home and welcoming them and just creating those relationships, you never know where that's going to go. And this is a perfect time to do that with a last chance first glance and letting them get excited and see the new catalog. It's so much fun. There's also, I want to encourage you guys, I gave you some great tips, didn't I? So great. But there's also some YouTube videos out there, and I know Vicki has a YouTube out there on last chance first glance open houses. Just go to YouTube, search Scentsy open house, tons and tons of ideas. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this. It's totally up to you and what works for your business, what works for your customers. So these are just some of my pro tips. Use them and don't use them. It's totally up to you. So, but yes, I will post this. I'll give this to Shelly to post with the recording too as well for those that want to use this too as well. So, all right, that's all I had.
Yes.
Next. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll turn it
you want to
over to
finish it
Shelly.
out? I was like, you can finish it out. Since I'm a robot
Maybe.
and I'm unstable again, it's fine.
I think we're all unstable, but
Dang storms. Well, huge thank you to Hannah. Tune in tomorrow. Set your alarms for 7 p.m. for Ascend Lounge. And with that, we will close it out. Thank you, everyone, for being on.
Yep.